Have you ever had that feeling when you're texting someone that they're just not telling you the truth? Their story's just not adding up? Well, today I'm going to teach you how to spot lies over text messages. You might think spotting lies over text messages can be tricky since there's no body language or tone of voice that you can, base it off of. But there are still noticeable psychological and linguistic cues that can reveal deception. And make sure you stick around till the end because I'm also going to show you a simple trick to catch someone lying to you in the middle of the act. Okay, let's get into it. Liars avoid details because they don't want to get caught in contradictions. So if someone's being weirdly vague, that's your first red flag. So when they're lying, their text message might just say, "I was out," rather than being more specific about what they were out doing. A liar might take longer to reply than usual because they're carefully crafting what they hope to be a believable story. So compare their speed of their replies to their usual baseline texting behavior. Interestingly, one study found that when people are lying, they take 10% more time to respond to a question over text. And it makes sense, right? I mean, if they're lying, they need time to come up with their answer. This can be especially obvious if you've been having a quick back and forth conversation and then now suddenly it's taking the person forever to respond. Hey, did you know that people who subscribe to this channel have a 50% higher chance of better understanding human behavior? Okay, I might have made that up, but subscribing will bring you more interesting psychology content. So hit that subscribe button now and you won't miss out. If someone keeps texting things like "I swear" or "I promise," or if they get really defensive out of nowhere, they could be hiding something. Look out for texts that include words like "I promise," "honestly," "I'm not lying," because when someone's telling the truth, they usually don't try that hard to be convincing. They don't really worry that much about if they're sounding believable. Also take notice if their writing style changes. Did their grammar suddenly become perfect? It could be a sign they're overthinking their response or they spent a lot of time crafting it. It can work the other way too, like if there's suddenly a lot of typos and short sentences, it could be a sign that they're nervous. The important thing here is again to compare it to their baseline texting behavior. Also, look out for distancing language. Liars subconsciously distance themselves from their own lie, so they might drop words like "I" or "my" to separate themselves from the lie. For example, instead of saying "I was at work, my phone died," it'll be "was at work, phone died." Another way to spot a liar is to see if the person refuses to really pin down their story and they keep giving you vague answers that could get them off the hook later more easily. For example, they'll say things like, "I think it was probably around midnight." Another sign is if the person tries to quickly steer the conversation away from the topic. They might even bring up something completely random to try to divert your attention away. They don't want you to dig deeper into the lie, which makes sense because, if the person isn't telling the truth, then it's only natural that they don't want you to linger over this topic. If you're in a conversation and it seems like you might have just caught them in a lie and then now all of a sudden they have to get going right away, this is probably a not so subtle way that they don't want to deal with this consequence of their lie and they're just trying to get out of there. Okay, now for the trick on how to catch them. Let the conversation continue to flow and then ask them the same question again at different points in the conversation, maybe even different times of the day, maybe even different days. And when you do this, use different wording, kind of come in on different angles of the question. Liars really struggle to keep their story straight. Look for inconsistencies in the details, because this is what they're going to have an especially hard time of remembering. If the details change, you've caught them. Now, I want to know, have you ever caught someone lying over text? And if you did, how did you notice? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and want more psychology insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay, I'll see you on the next one.